Hey everyone, welcome to the K0LWC QTH. I'm here in the backyard working on my long wire, but if you're a little confused whether I'm standing at the Arctic Circle or October in Minnesota, don't worry, I have that same confusion. Now, here in the backyard working on my long wire, it got me thinking, what was my most memorable contact ever as a ham radio operator? Well, I asked you guys that same question on Twitter, and you did not disappoint. Let's go to Twitter and check out some of your responses. The first response was from Ken, K2BNY. Ken says, actually, it was before I was licensed. We were doing JOTA last year. I talked to a kid from Indiana. He was my first contact, and it just kind of clicked. A year later, I had my technician's license. Fun hobby. Awesome, Ken. So many others out there have that same experience as you. Now, Neil's having some fun on the bands, folks. He says, working Gary. KB8RQ on 144 meg via moon bounce with 200 watts, a 9 element, and no elevation. Or perhaps working several stations in Alaska on 160 meters from inside the Aurora Oval after a big solar storm. Or possibly my first 122 gig contact, or working US stations from my 160 meter mobile. Wow, Neil is busy on the bands. You should be able to hear him every day. And his call sign is G4DBN. Thanks so much, Neil. The next one was from GB Hoyt, KG4GVL. In July of 2003 at 10 p.m., getting my shack packed up to move, had my FT817 on 20 meters, working a 4X station with 5 watts on a W3 EDP. He could not believe I was QRP. There is something really fun and really magical about working QRP. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're really into POTA, SOTA, those kind of things. It makes it even more fun. But there was one kind of contact that came up again and again on Twitter, and it was this. The first mention of it was Larry Krim, K4AB. He says, JY1, King Hussein of Jordan. He was flying his jet over the Atlantic en route to the United Nations. First and only time I've ever used the term, Your Majesty. How freaking cool is that? There is someone that leads a country in this world who's also a ham radio operator, and he's active on the air. Now, I got really excited about this, did a little research, come to find out he actually passed away, so he's no longer on the air. But I would die for that QSL card. That's an amazing one, but he was not the only one. Here we go. Next guy came in, NCJ editor. Larry, I can relate. JY1 asked to visit my shack in 1998, but never made it. It would have been an honor, but a bit intimidating to have him visit. I know others who have met him and described him as a down-to-earth ham radio operator. Larry responded, oh wow, that's impressive. I agree, seemed like a very humble but great man. Scott. And again, it doesn't end there. W0LD comes in. I remember working JY1 during an international DX contest. He called as I was on 20 meters. What a class act. I also used Your Majesty. I think that's the proper term. I'm not for sure either. I've never talked to, the leader of a country on ham radio before. But that got me thinking, what's my most memorable contact? Well, when I was first getting licensed, it was probably my first few months in, my friend Dan, who also had his license, KC9LZF, who is no longer licensed, unfortunately, we took two radios, the ICOM 706 Mark II-G and a Galaxy DX959 for 11 meters, and we took it portable. This is big time POTA stuff here. We had the most massive deep cycle marine battery you've ever seen, and we had the chance to go up to I think it's the third highest peak in Wisconsin, which is near my hometown of Wausau. Now, we parked at the top of that hill, and then we had to climb a 75-foot observation tower with the deep cycle battery, radios, and we brought a 21.5-foot 5/8 wave for 10 meters, and also, of course, work on 11 meters. Now, that day was relatively quiet. We didn't know what we were going to get. We got up there. 11 meters was rolling a little bit. There was, S2, S3 fades. It was okay. But that's why we brought the DX959, because we're like, if nothing else, we'll at least be able to have some fun on 11 meters, even if 10 meters does not open up. But as we were getting ready to close up shop, we have a 22-foot, essentially fiberglass vertical bungee corded to this wooden observation tower. It is the highest 10 and 11 meter antenna in the state of Wisconsin at that point. It's about 1,100 feet above average terrain. People are going in and out, asking us what we're doing because it's an open public park. It's a state park. And we're calling CQ on 28.4. We're calling. But as you know, 10 meters may be quiet, but that doesn't mean it's closed. So we probably called for about 20 to 30 minutes. We were about to give up. Just then, we got a real faint signal that started coming back to us. Turns out, it was a guy who was running another vertical, and he was at the very southern tip of Chile in South America. It took probably 6 or 7 go-arounds of repeating call signs to confirm that contact, but we got it. That was so much fun. It was so unexpected. It was an incredible DX contact from a portable station with running, the basic 100 watts out of the box. It was just so much fun to be up there, literally bungee cords and batteries and radios blaring, and we're like, oh, this is such a bummer. And then boom, the southern tip of South America comes booming in. That is my most memorable contact by far. I have yet to top that. The ISS, it's up there. If I ever get an FM simplex contact with the ISS, that might match that or go above it. But until that point, that's my best one. But what is your most memorable contact on ham radio? Drop a comment down below, let me know, and share this video with your friends. I want to know what everyone's most memorable contacts are. Like this video, give it a share as well. Don't forget to also subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you again next time.